Okay, ready? I'll tell you the story. The King of the Golden Mountain by the Brothers Grimm. So, once upon a time, there was a merchant. Merchant, yes. A merchant is someone who buys and sells things. Yeah, so they buy something from one person and then they sell it to someone else for more money. So they're like a seller. A merchant is like a seller. This merchant was very rich. He had lots of money. And he had lots of goods. Goods are something you can sell. So imagine this is a box. Inside the box are apples, bananas, clothes, many things that the merchant can sell. Now, one day, the merchant wanted to get a lot of money. So, he put all of his goods on a boat. All the goods go on the boat. This is a boat. A boat is something that can travel on water. And he wanted to take the goods to a faraway place so he could sell them for more money. So they travel here, he gets more money. But something happened. While the boat was traveling, it sank. Sank. Blah, 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 blah. Sank. Well, like upside down, but then go down to the bottom of the ocean. So sank means to go underwater. Sink, sink, sank. The boat sank under the water. And the merchant lost all of his goods. So he went from being very rich to, yes, poor. Now he is very poor. He has no money left. So, the merchant is very poor and he's feeling very sad. Okay? Come in. He's feeling very sad. One day, he goes walking and he meets a dwarf. Yeah, now dwarfs are small people. And dwarfs have magic. They have lots of magical powers. So the merchant meets a dwarf, and the dwarf said, "Why are you sad?" And the merchant said, "I'm sad because I've lost all my money. And the dwarf said, I will give you money, but you must give me something. When you go home, in 12 years, after 12 years, you have to give me the first thing that touches your leg. The first thing that touches your leg, you must give me. Yeah, the first thing that touches your leg. Now, the merchant thought, my dog. My dog will come and touch my leg. And he thought, I can give my dog. It's okay. So the merchant said, I promise. A promise is when you say you will do something. So the merchant said, I promise in 12 years I will give you the first thing that touches my leg tonight. And the dwarf said, okay, promise. And then the merchant went home. But when he got home, his little boy grabbed his leg. And the merchant thought, oh no, it's my boy. And the merchant was very sad. That night, the merchant went upstairs. He went upstairs to look at his chest. A chest is a big box that you keep money inside. Oh, yes, it can also mean here. Yes, you're right. There are two meanings. Chest here or chest here. Like a big box you keep money inside. So he went up and he looked at the chest, and the chest was empty. Nothing inside. So the merchant thought, it's empty. It's not real. But 1 month later, the merchant went upstairs and he was looking for something. He said, where is my coat? And he saw the chest, and inside the chest, it wasn't empty. It was filled with money and gold. And the merchant was so happy, he forgot about his son. He said, oh yes, I have money again. And he went back into business. He was able to buy and sell, and he got rich again. And for 12 years, he was very happy. But 12 years later, and the little boy has now grown up. Verb 2. Grew, grown. He has grown up. Verb 3. Has grown up. Little boy has grown up. And the merchant remembers his promise. He has to give the boy to the dwarf. And the merchant is very sad. And the boy said, Father, why are you so sad? And the merchant told him about the promise. But the boy said, don't worry, Father. Because, hey boy. The boy had a friend who was a fairy. Now, a fairy is like a small little magic creature. They have wings. And the fairy came at night. This is the boy's bed. Came at night to the boy to give him advice. Tell the boy what to do. And the fairy told the boy everything he must do. So the boy said, "Don't worry, Father. The fairy told me what to do. We will be okay." So he and his father went to meet the dwarf, and the boy drew a circle in the sand. He drew a circle, and then he and his father sat in the middle of the circle. And when the dwarf came, the dwarf could not come into the circle because it was a magic circle and the fairy was helping the boy. So the dwarf could not come in, and the dwarf was very angry. And the dwarf said, "Give me the boy." And the boy said, "No." And the dwarf said, "Promise, you promised. A promise is a promise." And the boy said, "I will not come out." And they talked, and they talked, and they talked, and they argued, and finally, they decided what they would do. The father would not give the boy to the dwarf, but the father had to put the boy on a boat. And then the father had to push the boat out into the sea. The sea is like a big water, like the ocean. So he had to push the boat out into the sea. So, the boy went out into the sea. And the father and the dwarf could watch from the land. Now, as the boy went out to sea, a big wave came up. A wave is when the water comes up. And the boat turned over. The boat turned over. And the father and the dwarf could see. And the father was very sad because he thought the boy had drowned. Yeah, drowned means to go under the water and die. He thought the boy had drowned, so he was very sad. And the dwarf was very happy because the dwarf got his revenge. So the dwarf was happy, father was sad. And they both walked away. But the boy wasn't dead, because the fairy was helping the boy. So the fairy helped the boy, and the boy came back up, and he grabbed the boat, and the boy kept holding the boat for a long time, maybe one day. And they traveled on the sea for a long time, until they came to a land far away. Now, when the boy came to this new land, there was a big mountain. But it wasn't a rock mountain. The whole mountain was made of gold. It was a golden mountain. And on the mountain, there was a big palace. Yeah, a palace is like a castle. It's where the king and queen live. And, yeah, king and queen live in a big palace. So, the boy went inside the palace. But the palace was empty. No one was there. He went, hello? Where is everyone? He went everywhere. No one was there until he came to the last room. And in the last room of the palace, there was a white snake. And the white snake talked to the boy. And the white snake said, I am really a beautiful princess, but I've been changed into a snake by magic. And the snake said, you can help me. Tonight, 12 men will come. And the 12 men will beat you. Beat, it means to hit, kick. They will beat you. And the snake said, don't fight them. Just stand still and let them hit you. Don't say anything. Don't fight them. And the snake said, you must do this for 3 nights. And if you can do this for 3 nights, I will change into a beautiful princess. So the boy waited. And at night, 12 men came, and they beat him, and he didn't fight. And then the next night, 12 men came again and beat him, and 3 nights they beat him. And by the end, the boy was almost dead. But After 3 nights, the snake turned into a beautiful princess. And the princess used her magic to heal the boy. Make him better. Princess used her magic to heal the boy. And then the princess and the boy fell in love. And they got married. And then they had a baby boy. And the boy became the king of the mountain. And the princess was now the queen of the Golden Mountain. And they were very happy. But eight years later, the king of the Golden Mountain remembered his father. And he started to feel sad because he hadn't seen his father for 8 years. So he said to the queen, I want to go back and see my father again. But the queen says, don't go. If you go, you will have trouble. We will have trouble. And they talked and talked for a long time. But the king would not stop asking. He kept saying, I must see my father. I must see my father. So finally, the queen said, okay, you will go. You can go. And the queen gave him a ring. A magic ring. A ring is something you can put on your finger. And this was a magic ring. And the queen said, this is a magic ring. If you have the ring, you can wish to go anywhere. So wish means just think what you want, and the ring can bring you anywhere. So the king took the ring, but the queen said, whatever you do, do not wish me and your son to come to your father. You go alone. Don't bring us. Don't use the ring to bring us. We stay here, the queen said. So, the king used the ring, and he went back to the town where his father lived. But he looked very strange because he had all the clothes of the king. The crown, the nice clothes. And at the town, there were guards. Guards are there to protect the town. And the guard said, "Who are you? Why do you look so strange? You can't come in." So, the king had to change his clothes with a farmer. A farmer is someone who works with the cows and pigs outside. So the king found a farmer and they changed clothes. So the king has the farmer's hat. The farmer has the king's hat. And the king went and the guard said, okay, you look like a farmer, come in. And the king went in and he met his father. And he said, Father, I am your son. But his father said, you are not my son. My son drowned. My son drowned 8 years ago. I saw it. You are not my son. And he says, yes, I am your son. I've come back. And the father says, if you are my son has a red mark on his arm. So, this is the arm. The king took off his shirt, and on his hand there was a red mark. This was a mark he had since he was a baby. And the father saw the mark, and the father said, my son, it's you. And the son said, yes, I am alive, and I am king of the Golden Mountain. And the father said, you are my son, but you are not king of the Golden Mountain. Look, you're wearing farmer's clothes. You look like a farmer. You are not king. And the son felt angry. And he was so angry, he forgot his promise to his wife. And he used the magic ring, and he said, I wish my wife and son were here. And boom, by magic, the wife and son came. But the wife was very angry because he had broken his promise. He said, I won't bring you, but he brought them. He had broken his promise. So, later, they were walking, and the king was very tired and sleepy. So, he saw a nice tree. And the king said, wife, let's relax by the tree. And the king laid down and went to sleep. But his wife was still angry. So she took the ring off his finger. She took the ring off his finger and she used the ring to wish her and her son back to the palace.